some audio confirmation, guys. Make sure we're live. Should be. Okay. Do we have audio, guys? Sounds like we may not have audio. Hmm. Guys, do we have audio? Okay, looks like we have audio. Okay. So light looks a little bad. Let me try and get some more light, guys. Okay. Hopefully that should be good now. So here we go. While we're waiting, maybe a couple people can come in. I'll go ahead and unbox this. So this is another Spider Gwen. This is an exclusive that Golden Apple Comics had, and kind of goes together well with that Spider Gwen #1 cover there. So I thought, why not unbox that at this point? For this, now, if you've been following my channel, then you may remember. I don't even know how long ago it was, guys. Maybe 9 months ago, or maybe even slightly longer. I unboxed 14 of these things, and then we sent them to CGC. And after pressing and grading, all 14 of them came back 9.8. So that was a massive score. I have one other investor in that with me, and so we've been making our move, with them over the last little bit. So I want to kind of explain my mindset, and how I think is the best way to invest with comics, if that's something that you guys want to try and do, or what do you do when the investment starts to go well, you have to kind of think about that, because comics are not like stocks or anything else like that where there's liquidity. There's no liquidity in comics. I don't know what the opposite of liquidity is, but that's what comics are. Any collectible, really. There's no liquidity, unless you're willing to take a massive hit, which, if you're an investor, that doesn't make sense. You don't invest to then go and dump the investment and get nothing for it, right? See if anyone has got any questions. Doesn't look like it yet. Okay, so what do we got here? Freebie, You're the Villain, 25 center. Is that last year's? Okay, so ended up getting 2 sets of this Ji Hung Lee Spider Gwen. So actually I thought, it kind of would somewhat go with that other cover, because it's very similar to it. So anyway, we got two sets of those. Those books actually kind of heated up, and have done pretty well. So anyway, pretty cool book, and it'll definitely look really nice next to that one. All right, so here's my investment strategy when it comes to, books like this. All right, so we have 14 of them. That's like a massive amount. That's craziness. And you cannot try and sell them all at once. You'll crash the market. You just have to wait for buyers. So over the last, say, 6 months or so, maybe slightly longer, I can't remember off the top of my head, we've been just selling them one at a time. And the initial goal was to get our investment back. So it took selling, I think we had to sell like 8 of them, and that put us slightly into positive cash flow because selling half of them wasn't quite enough to get to a break even when we figure the cost of the books, the cost of pressing, grading, all that other stuff. It was just not quite a true double up in that sense. It was very, very close. But anyway, so we had sold I think 8 of them. Then at this point, I'm like, hey, the next opportunity I see for this book to take an increase is when the sequel to Spider-Verse comes out. So, it goes together with the Miles Morales Ultimate Fallout 4s, the Edge of Spider-Verse 2s, all that type of stuff is a great investment for that movie, which is coming out. I think it's like the end of this year, hopefully. We'll see. So we were in no rush to sell the last remaining ones. I think another one ended up selling. That put us into like positive cash, and then it was like we're starting to dwindle the supply down. So I was like, well, we really don't need to sell anymore. And well, then another opportunity popped up, and I'm super heavily into Ultimate Fallout 4, but my partner in this, kind of venture on these books was not. So I said, hey, look, here's some stuff popping up that I think would be great to kind of diversify for, his sake a little bit and give us another opportunity to jump up. So we ended up selling one more of these, and then we took that money and bought 9 copies of Ultimate Fallout 4, just the standard edition. They were all still polybagged. And anyway, I told him, look, here, it wasn't quite an even trade. So selling the book paid for the other books, but then we had to come out of pocket just a little bit for pressing and grading and stuff like that. So it was maybe, say, this book plus, I don't know, 300, 350, 400, something like that, gets us to the 9 now graded copies of Ultimate Fallout 4. I also have 3 more copies in here that I sent in with this same order. So we have a total of 12 of them. And then I have another Harbinger #1, with the Bloodshot movie. I actually watched it, guys. I thought it was I thought it was good. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's great. It wasn't bad. It was good. It wasn't amazing, but anyway, it's not good enough to where it's gonna help sell Bloodshots and all that Valiant stuff. So I'm just gonna keep holding that, and hopefully the Harbinger movie will come out and do well and kind of spark the Valiant cinematic universe. So we're gonna see how we did on the 9 Ultimate Fallout 4s, and we're gonna see if it was a good move or not to trade one of these plus an extra $400 for 9 graded copies. So my feelings are that it's gonna be good. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, there's the first one, 9.2. I'm not gonna pull it out of the bag. We'll save it for a higher grade one. Okay, another 9.2. And this book has jumped again in raw values, guys. When we pick these up, there's a 9.6. When we picked these books up, we got them for like $80 a piece or something like that for the 9 copies. Bam, there we go. There's a 9.8. And that's the level that I like these books, okay? This has happened a few times where Ultimate Fallout 4 will kind of spike up and go like to $100 or $120 a copy, and now I see it on eBay selling for like $150, $160 a copy. raw, no, guys, that price is going to come down. Those people are thinking that they're going to get a whole bunch of high grades, and it's not going to happen, and then the buyers are going to disappear. There's 9.8 number 2. So anyway, don't buy that book for that much. 9.8 number 3. 9.8 number 4. There's a 9.4. 9.8 number 5. A 9.6. I think there's 2 9.6s now. Another 9.8. That's number 6, I believe. Number 7. Oh, nice. Okay, so the Harbinger number 1 that I sent in was a nice high grade, but you know, you're never guaranteed that it's going to come back in 9.8, and that one came back in 9.8, so I'm very happy about that. So yeah, guys, I think this was like a triple, or this might be a triple up. So yeah, this is great. I mean, even if I take and make it a worst case scenario, I take the 3 9.8s out, that and say that those were the 3 books that I sent in, that still leaves us with 4 9.8s. Let's Harbinger out of here. Yeah, and we'll see what happens with Harbinger. Paramount's got it now. We'll see. Okay, so let's take a look at the worst case scenario for our trade up here. All right, let's move Spider-Gwen off to the side. All right, so we've got 2 9.2s. So call it Spider-Gwen plus $400 is a worst case scenario. 2 9.2s, they're probably 120 a piece or something like that. The 9.4 probably is not that much more. Maybe that's 130 or 40. 2 9.6s, they're probably like 160 or 80. And 4 9.8s. And the 9.8s are easily still going for 350, and I've seen them up to 400, and possibly more. So I think, you know, even if we call these 350, that's 6, 1,200, 12, 12, 14, 16, 17. It's probably like 1,800. So I think it's an easy, very close to double up, if not slightly more. So that's, I think, a win. So trade the Spider-Gwen for all of that Ultimate Fallout 4 goodness. Yeah. So we're down to, I think we're down to 3 of these guys now with the group. We ended up selling one more and just taking the cash, you know, so just to have a little bit of cash out of the deal. So there we go. We're down to 3 from the 14. Now we got some Ultimate Fallout 4s. I would buy more, but like I said, the price now is up to like 150 a book, which to me is just absolute insanity. Those people that are starting to buy them now are thinking they're going to send them to CGC and get high grades, and they're not. You know, it's as simple as that. They are not going to get high grades from that book. They don't have access to my presser, and they're not going to get high grades. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Don't see anything in the chat. I don't know if this thing just isn't getting me the live chat. What's going on? Shit, there we go. All kind of live chat. Sorry, guys. Horror Breakdown. Nice to see you, Rag718. What's going on, brother? Hey, Rag, I sent those books in to CGC, so we'll see what happens. They're It's gonna be a couple months, but they're all in right now. Um, Rag, dude, the ultimate Fallout 4s are super hard to come by now from multiple issues from one seller. Hold on a second. Guys, can you turn the music down? What's going on? Really? Uh, Going live and they just start trying. See, this is what happens when I try and go live when it's not late, guys. These guys just start blasting music, and, and it is what it is. Wow. All right, so yeah, so Rag, the multiple copy sellers are few and far between. You just got to really be looking at eBay constantly. It just I ended up kind of getting lucky. There's a guy right now that's got five of them or something, but he wants 200 a piece, and there's no way in hell that's going to happen. Yeah, this mic is great, but the thing freaking likes to bounce around on me, man. I know what they do, and like when they use these in production or whatnot, is they tape them to your face, but I'm just not really wanting to tape the damn thing to my face. Um, yeah, it's the raw copies of the Ultimate Fallout 4. It's that freaking polybag crease on the back that just kills them, man. I sent a couple in without getting pressed, and CGC graded them nines. I mean, so they're really harsh on that polybag crease, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, the variants too, the Ultimate Fallout 4 variants, those things are drying up like crazy, man. There's people trying to get 2 grand or 1,200 for raw copies, and I do not recommend that book at that price. That's just insane. Um, so horror breakdown. That's a tough question. So what I've found, I mean, the Ultimate Fallout 4s are going up, which is insane. You would think with where we're at with coronavirus and Diamond shutting down and comic book stores in full panic, that everything would be cheap, but it's really not. So I think that where the maybe some good deals will pop up is bronze and older from people that have had the comics for a long time, and maybe they need a little bit of money, and even if they're selling it at a discount now, where we look at either the original owners or they bought them 10 years ago or something, they're making such a big profit that them losing out on some of that profit now isn't going to hurt them as much. The modern stuff seems to still be holding up. It's not really taking any big hits. As far as like the modern cheaper books. And I mean, this really isn't a cheap book, but they're still doing fine. But then again, it's doing fine when we're in no rush to sell it and we can wait. But if I had to liquidate this book and put it as an auction, you don't know where it can end up. I mean, it could go for 650 or something just crazy. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. You have to, in any of this type of comic book investing, you have to have the patience and the wherewithal to just wait. You got to wait to get any type of good returns. If we had to fire sell any of this stuff, immediately, the Ultimate Fallout 4s, I probably could put this at auction, and it's probably going to go for a decent amount because that book, for whatever reason, is heating back up again. But if it's something like this, you don't know where that auction could end. It could end at 900 if you got a couple people fighting over it, or it could end at 650 if no one wants it. So you got to be real careful with that. There's no liquidity in comics. You got to have patience. You got to be able to just sit there and wait for the buyer to come, and then you're gonna be doing it. Yeah, see, Rag, that, yeah, what's that? 30% off of fair market value. Yeah, it's if auctions are really bad right now, man. I mean, it could go good, but most of the time, my luck, I always end up on the low end of that stuff, man. Giant size X-Men 9/8. Yep. Yeah, that book really had a big run up too. Reminds me of when Hulk 181 had its big run up. I just wasn't touching it. It was like, hey, Hulk 181 has tripled in the last year. No, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna mess with it.
And even, I had a guy offer me another giant size X-Men, so CGC 9.2, and he was offering it up for like 3,200, which is a pretty fair price. And I was like, man, I've already got like a 9.4, and if I was going to take that one on, it would be for an investment. I was like, the book has already shot up so damn much that I figure it's going to have a little bit of a pullback. And especially now, yeah, those type of books are going to be able to get picked up cheaper now. Um, so as far as cryptocurrency, right now, Bitcoin is it, man. Bitcoin is going to have a soft fork coming up, which basically means that they're going to change Bitcoin, but there's consensus with the change, and a lot of that stuff. What's going to be implemented is smart contracts from like Ethereum. So now Bitcoin is going to do everything that Ethereum does, and that sets a precedent now for them to that. I don't know. I'm not going to say Facebook coin, but some other coin that some other website uses, and say like it's a tipping coin on YouTube or something, that you can't use, say, Bitcoin to tip people. You have to use the YouTube coin or whatever. Then that would have a specific use that can only be filled by that coin, and then maybe that has a chance to survive. But right now, Bitcoin is it, man. Anything else, I think now that they're going to basically adopt any good ideas that any other coin has, all the other coins are kind of done. I wouldn't mess with it. Just stick with Bitcoin and hold that. And the same thing, Bitcoin's been all over the place. It was, 10,000 a little bit ago. It was 7,000 even, 3 months ago, and it was 12,000 5 months ago, and it's just bouncing all over the place. So, I'm not recommending trading it because you're most likely going to get killed trying to trade it. Just buy it, hold that sucker for 10 years, and you'll be fine. So, I think that's it, guys. That's all I got right now. So I think that worked out. We're down to the last three of these, and really, I don't even want to sell them because, like, I do believe that this book is going to see another surge as the new movie comes out. Maybe I don't know if I found someone that had a bunch of Edge of Spider-Verse twos, then maybe like, okay, maybe we'll sell one more and buy like five or six, raw Edge of Spider-Verse twos, and kind of do what we did with these Ultimate Fallout 4s. Just kind of diversifying, but still sticking with that Spider-Verse 2 sequel movie kind of spec, because I do think that when that movie comes out, Spider-Gwen and Ultimate Fallout 4, Miles Morales, really Miles Morales only has that one book, where Spider-Gwen's got this one and her first appearance and the variant for the first appearance, where, Miles has really just got this Ultimate Fallout 4 standard copy and the variant. I would not mess with the second prints. I just think anyone if they're going to hunt the book, they're going to want either this one or the variant if they can afford it. So, guys, I think that's it. Right now, Rag, I think Spider Gwen, dude. I mean, Gwenpool's cool too, but if they don't put her in that movie, and I don't think that, no, I would say definitely that that's not going to be Sony's rights to that character. So that would be with Marvel still, and I don't think they're going to use her, unfortunately. I mean, it would be cool if they did, but I think that for that really to take off like these ones have, there's got to be some type of movie action. I just don't think that's anywhere in the foreseeable future. Um, yeah, I haven't been following Howard the Duck, but I mean, I know there's been people talking about that franchise could get kind of rebooted. We'll see, man. Everything in Hollywood now has got pushed back like 3 months, so it's kind of crazy. This year just really screwed everything up, man. I mean, it's what can you do? We just got to get past it into 2021, I guess. But guys, I'm gonna cut it right now, and start cooking dinner. So thanks, guys. Next Sunday, I'm gonna have some Rise Zero stuff. So more updates on the Rise Zero madness.
The drama continues over there at CGC, and I don't even know what to say, man. But the drama continues. So next Sunday, I'm gonna try and do it at this time. Uh, that way, it's a little bit easier for Rag and all the guys on the East Coast to be able to tune in. Cool. Yeah. Dude, I swear I have so many technical difficulties with the audio, but this mic tends to be pretty good. As long as the batteries don't die, or something like that, or sometimes the mic will move around. But yeah, so cool. I'm glad the audio is working for you guys, and take care. We'll catch you on the next one.